Hello, everyone. I know some of you have been waiting patiently in here for me to start, so I'd like to say thanks for waiting patiently. Viral Geek, I see you with the comment. That is exactly the attitude we are going for. You're right. It's customer week. You're excited. We're definitely excited. And you're right. You're excited to explore these new tools, and that's exactly what we're going to go into today. We're going to do that a little bit in depth. Last week I did it for an example site, and I created a video through Flickify. I showed you guys how to basically upload videos by batch and individually through Humix. I'm more than happy to do that for one of you guys today. If you want to volunteer and say, hey, Charlie, can you take a look at my domain? Maybe make a video out of X article. You can obviously give me some pointers. Say, hey, let's go with this theme. Let's do maybe this voice so we can work collaboratively together through this. But honestly, creating videos through Flickify, we can do it within a couple minutes together here. I can show you all the different things you can change. We can upload some media through it as well. So I have some images and things that I've actually saved on my computer here, so I can show you how easily you can just upload it to your media player through Flickify. But I'd like to, as you guys know, I'd like to give everyone at least a couple minutes to join in, gather their bearings, and get everything set up. I see I have Joanne with me here today. Joanne, hello and good morning or good afternoon. I forget exactly where you're located, but I would like to say welcome from sunny San Diego. Daniel, good morning or good afternoon to you as well. J5, thanks for coming back today. I'm so happy to see you guys here. I know you guys are here every other week, but I think today's live stream is going to be really fun, just like last week, because we did go into some of the new features. This is customer week, so this is your guys' week. We're celebrating you, and part of that celebration is kind of giving you guys some of these new features. We want you guys to earn more. We want you guys to get some more traffic going. But I would first like to say, thank you guys for showing up. You guys don't have to do this, but I see, you guys get some benefit out of this, and so do I. I learn more. It kind of pushes me to see Ezoic and the new features and kind of different perspectives and avenues. So I'd like to say thank you to you all for showing up. But yeah, if you guys want me to, it's saying, hey, Charlie, um, I would love for you to set up a video for me through Flickify. Let's do it through this article. Let's do that. I also want to go through some placeholder setups with you guys as well. I think sometimes this works best to just use an example site for one of you all. So if you want me to do that for you, let's do that. That'd be awesome. There's some really, really exciting things I want to share with you specifically to Humix. I think right now, this live stream could be the most important one to actually go through Humix. I can kind of get into that a little bit later. But there's some really, really just exciting data that has kind of come out about Humix and about the publishers that have used it, the ones that have optimized it correctly, and really the return of investment that they've seen while actually using Humix has been incredible. And I'm just excited to share some of that today. I can touch up on the affiliate program a little bit more as well, because we've kind of revamped that whole process as well. There's cash bonuses, there's revenue, free revenue you guys can earn off through all your affiliate links. But yeah, I will give everyone maybe like 2 more minutes. But that's kind of like the agenda for today. But again, I'm really excited. It is customer week. It is your week. Daniel would love to see a Clickify. Oh wait, I think you said Clickify. A Flickify example. I'm more than happy to do that as well. I can use my example site, or even Daniel, if you want me to make a video of one of your articles, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that. Oh, J5 said he missed last week. He was in Amsterdam. I will rewatch it. Yeah, and J5, we can also go through some of it live today. So that way, if you do have questions that come up, or if something does, if I go over something really quickly and you want me like, hey, Charlie, let's take a step back, I'll be more than happy to do that for sure. But Tech Countless says, please show separate section for Humix earning as well. For sure, I can absolutely go through that. J5, again, you're in Amsterdam. Hopefully that was vacation. If not, hopefully you had some fun on that form of traveling. I've never personally been to Amsterdam, but I've only heard amazing things about it. My sister is really into biking and whatnot. She's actually on the sales team here at Ezoic. She actually did like a biking swimming race in Amsterdam pre-COVID. So I've only heard amazing things about that, but I'm happy you're back with me today. Viral Geek, hello. He says hello to everyone else as well. You're good, Daniel. Yeah, Flickify. Flickify is kind of catchy. But Annex says, hey, Charlie, happy customer week. No, happy customer week to you all. I am also technically a customer of Ezoic, as I do use the platform. So I guess we can just celebrate that together, one and for all. But J5, yes, Amsterdam is the place for bikes. That's what it seems like for sure. Oh, Joanne says, I would love for you to make one for my site. Of course, Joanne, I know your domain because you've been in here a handful of times. So if you don't have a specific article you would like me to make it on, I can just go ahead and maybe, actually, you know what I'll do if you don't have an article in mind, Joanne, is I'll actually create one for maybe one of your top performing pages, and then I can give you maybe like 2 or 3 options to basically show you where to actually add the video placeholder. There's maybe, I'll leave it to 2. There's probably 2 best options based on the data that we've gotten so far. So I'm more than happy to share both what those options are and maybe the pros and cons of each option. Because something that I've learned from last week to this week is a lot of the Humix revenue and a lot of the video is actually viewed on mobile. So I think in my last live, I was saying, one of the better options to maybe add it up top sidebar. But as you guys know, there is no sidebar on mobile. So while that is a very good place to add it for your desktop pages, a lot of the data I found is actually points to more mobile traffic. So that would not be the most beneficial way to add one. I can show you guys how to add 2 placeholders. So we can say, hey, if this is a mobile page, we can still test this location for a video placeholder. But again, I'll be more than happy to go through that in the future. Oh, and Joanne says, sounds good, Charlie. You can choose for me. So you know what? I'm actually going to start the live stream doing that. So it seems like I have a lot of you guys in here now. Again, thank you guys so much for showing up. If you're new and can't see my name tag down in the corner, my name is Charlie. I work with the Access Now team. I'm now a technical publisher advocate, which is a really exciting new title for me. But basically, I'm going to be doing everything in my power to serve you guys the best benefit, whether that's helping with the onboarding, changing the onboarding, doing support, continuing in that way, doing more live streams, creating short videos for you guys to basically fully understand how to use Ezoic, but especially right now, how to use these new features because they are so incredible. But let's jump into these questions because you guys have some really good questions coming in here. So I don't want to fall too far behind, and then you guys will be waiting forever to kind of to catch up here. So most of these are just questions, and then Tech Countless says, please show this separate section for Humix earning. I can for sure do that. Maybe I'll do that as I create this example for Joanne. Erwin, this is a really good question. While I'm going through this Flickify example for Joanne's site, could you do me a favor, and if you're comfortable, add your domain name down to the comment section so that way I can actually pull up your domain on the back end, and then I can see why exactly Google is denying, because there is kind of a handful of reasons as to why, whether it's on the account level or the domain. Both I can walk you through very easily. I've seen, unfortunately, hundreds of these, probably more than that. So I have worked through these. They are, just because you're getting denied on the account or domain, 90% of the time you can actually work through it. But again, I would like to just say, okay, so Shawar was saying that's about low value content. So yeah, I can definitely do that. And hello to you as well. There's some really great questions. Okay, enough stalling. Everyone's in here. You guys are ready to go. Let me pull up Joanne's site before we get going. Cool. Pull it up right now. There was a really good question. Daniel says, do you recommend making videos from your best performing articles first? So, Beatrice, yes, that's a great question as well. I can touch up on that. But Daniel says, do you recommend making videos from your best performing articles first? So I would first answer this saying yes, that's a great avenue to start, because if you're making your own videos, adding videos to these pages is going to give you another avenue to make more revenue. So yes, Daniel, this is a great idea to do this first, so that way you can optimize both desktop and mobile traffic for your top performing pages. And then I would say maybe the next thing to consider is, how competitive is your niche, and kind of who else also dives into this topic in the realm of this online publishing world. Because if you do have a couple articles that are very competitive, that actually might be a really good avenue to create a video and share through Humix. Because as you guys know or do not know, you can actually share the videos that you create with other publishers, and you guys can actually split that revenue. So even if you're only seeing 50 to 100 visits a day, that's totally fine, or even less. You can share the video of a very high competitive niche, and then basically bigger publishers that also want to use that same video that you made, you guys can basically split that revenue is what I'm trying to say. So maybe think about your best performing articles first, and then maybe after that, maybe some of the most competitive in terms of SEO and keywords. So that way others who have the same topic and the same niche can also use your videos. But let's go into it. Joanne said that she did try to add videos to this, and she's not 100% sure if she did it right. So let's pull up her dashboard first. Let me share my screen so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. That would make sense, right? Oh, Beatrice says, I'm curious about Humix. Perfect. We're about to jump into our first Flickify example, and then I'll be more than happy to go through Humix. I do want to reiterate, and I'll probably reiterate it again. Humix is a very, very exciting feature for you guys specifically access now, right now. You guys really do have a good foot in your door really early. And what I mean really early is for the amount of impressions, which is an insane amount. You guys can really get ahead of the curve. It's kind of like, Tyler mentioned this yesterday. It's kind of like being in the internet in the early 2000s. Like, you guys can really just get your foot in the door, take advantage of it now, because the demand is really only going to grow tenfold. So I'll kind of touch more on that and the actual numbers that Humix has actually been seeing on a monthly basis. It is a little bit absurd, but maybe I'll use that data as my prefix to start my Humix rant. But for now, let's go through a Flickify rant. So as you guys noticed, as of yesterday, your guys' dashboard changed. The monetization feature did change to Ezoic ads. Same idea, the actual tab will look a bit different. But the idea is the same. You still have leap here. You still have, so this is Flickify, where of course we're gonna go into that right now. You have Humix right here and Niche IQ. We're gonna go through these 3 new features today. But this is really the exciting things that we've been talking about. As Customer Week, we wanted to give you guys all the tools to succeed, and these 3 are definitely going to expedite and serve as a catalyst for that, for sure. But also, I think the reason why Ezoic basically changed this monetization tab to Ezoic ads is because it was kind of diluting the fact that Ezoic, again, is not just an ad network. Ezoic is an all-in-one platform tool that is designed to help you guys out in every way, shape, or form, whether it's making more content, making videos, working on your SEO best practices, making your site faster, optimizing your revenue. But this really goes into show that, Ezoic has built out Leap. Leap is an insane site speed feature that is, using current metrics, that is using very valid metrics. But again, this is just to show that Ezoic is not just an ad network. I know I just said that, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it really is an all-in-one platform for you guys to use. Okay, first thing I want to do is Joanne wanted me to pull up one of her best performing articles, and let's start with there to make one of the videos. That was also Daniel's question. So for you guys that are unfamiliar with analytics, in order to find Joanne's top performing pages, I am going to go to the analytics tab as I just did there. And then over here on the left-hand side, you're going to see, here, let me zoom in a bit for you guys. It's a little bit easier to see. Over here on the left-hand side, just below behavior, we have content. And then once we click on content, we're going to go to landing pages. And this landing pages will actually filter out the pages that have the most visits. As you guys can see here on the left hand, we can simply hit this tab, and then it'll sort from most frequently visited to least. So Joanne does have pretty low traffic numbers, which is totally okay. It seems like most of the metrics are honestly her visiting her own pages. So I'm not going to make a video about your about or home page. But it looks like this one right here is your top performing page. How do you lace hiking boots to prevent toe pain? Cool. So what I'm first going to do is I'm actually just going to grab this URL because we will want to use this URL to add it into Flickify. There's another way we can do this, but I'll go into that more in a second. Let's return to Ezoic. Cool. So now that I've grabbed the URL from our top landing page, which is right here, I'm going to go into Flickify right here. And so this is why I was saying I wanted to grab the URL, because I can actually just add the URL right here. And this is what it's actually going to serve. This is what's actually going to pull the content to turn into a video. So to take a quick step back, if you guys are not sure what Flickify is actually a tool that's going to turn your current content into videos. So that way you don't have to sit there and edit for hours. You don't have to go out and film, 80 different clips and then turn 80 clips into the 40 ones you want to use, and then use all 40 of those individual ones. You're not going to have to edit the audio on every single one. You're not going to have to trim the clip and make clips. Essentially, this is going to turn all of your written content into a video. So it's going to do everything for you. Literally right here as I click go, it's going to do that. If you guys want to create basically a new script of something you've never written before, that's totally fine. You guys can either do start from scratch, or you can simply just use a script. And when you guys see here, I click on use a script, I can simply just start typing away, and then you can create different slides for the content you want to go. But for my favorite option, let's go back here. And then again, let's just use her top performing page right here. I'm going to hit go on the right side. And then this is basically going to take you through. So this is basically going to walk you through it and how do you go. But I'm just going to hit I'm ready, let's go to show you how to do it. So even look, it's going to pull up this. Let's click through here. This is a great page, by the way, Joanne. Cool. So this is actually going to be your media library over here on the side. What you can actually do is, of course, you can add missing toenail ? And this is going to basically be your image. We could do something also along the lines of like hiking boots, right? And this will pull some media for you to use as well. So these might serve as the images you want to upload in the back end. If this isn't your most enticing image, I think this is honestly kind of a perfect one, because you do have how do you tape your feet? Hold on. Oops, don't want to do that. Delete that slide. This is a pretty perfect, enticing page for you to use right here. But I'm not getting the rest of the content to load. Okay, so next post, can I hike with a missing toenail? I want to break this down. Hold on. I don't know why it's not pulling the rest of your content. Curious to see what these divs are actually used to write content. Simple P. Okay, these are P as well. But yeah, so let's say, and then after you guys kind of get used to how this actual media player works, most of the editing you're going to be doing is from here, this little settings tab right here. So the first option is, select the voice you want to use. I think last week I used Amy for my own video. So let's go down and select one. Let's keep it in English just for ease sakes. Let's go back up here. Sorry. Let's just do Joanne, female, English, US. So that's what I was gonna say. Females right here where my clicker is. English from the US. So I can simply just go here. So that way, whoever's talking, this is actually going to be the voice and actually the narrator who's speaking here. From there, we can add a track. My favorite, as you guys know, the one I love the most is This Causing Mischief. I also think this is kind of a perfect audio to use for this. But you can then control the volume percentage you'd actually like to show. Just more percentage, the higher the volume. Let's keep it at 25%. 26 works. Let's upload the track. Oh, wait, sorry. This is the track we want to use. So let's upload it. Open. Oh, wait. Okay, so it's already selected. Again, if you have your own audio, that's where this upload track will come from. I personally don't have any, but let's say you guys do have some music saved. Maybe it's your own audio clips. You can then upload your own media from there. So I have my soundtrack. I have my voice. Let's change the theme because this background theme doesn't exactly work. So let's do... I'm not sure if this is... Let's see. So again, we can upload our own one for the back end, but let's find a theme that's a little bit more, fitting here. This one's pretty cool, Morning Doodles with this background. I kind of like that one a lot, honestly. A simple green would work. Again, this is more just to whatever you guys like the most, but maybe if there's one like this might be perfect. Forest path. Cool. So this kind of makes the most sense so you guys can see. So this is more of just along the editing features here. You can also hit auto match, which will basically do this automatically for you. The one thing with this article and this example right now is we're not actually pulling the content, so this is something I'm going to send to the team right after this. But if it were to actually pull all the content, then it would show a handful of different sites here. So I'm actually going to pull up another URL and see if that works. I don't know why it was not doing that right now. As you can see, she has vignette ads showing. Joanne, this is a great article to write. If this is a recent one you wrote, this is a really great article to write. As you guys know, we are coming up on Q4, and this will be a perfect example for seasonality. Oops. Again, so I think however the layout is, so normally this would pull all of the content and turn it into a really proper narrative right here. But maybe for whatever reason, the theme you're using, this is probably something that I'll just open a bug for and get this solved so it never happens for anyone else. But that's basically how you're going to go through and actually create a video. I want to show you guys exactly how it looks on mine because it did pull all of the narrative for me. So let me do that. Cool. Cool. So this is just another example site. As you can see, it's the same deal going here. But when I go into Flickify, let's grab this example. Oh wait, let's grab this. Cool. So this is what I was saying before. This is what it actually will look like in terms of all the content. It does a really good job of actually breaking down the slides and the article itself to actually make coherent sense. And it's kind of like a cool set your limits. It kind of emphasizes the important points. Again, I have my own media. See, these are some of the pictures that I've taken myself, so I can go ahead and upload these to the background or whatever. But again, let's go into the settings tab here. Let's change this to Amy. My theme, let's change the theme. It is like a blurry background. Let's do this road. This is the one I used last time. So now I have, because this is a car article, so obviously having a road as a background is a far better thing. Then as you guys can see, if I literally just add a track, let's do, and you guys know I love this audio. Let's do this one instead. Preview. Look, now I have, or it's going to generate my preview for me. Cool, but look, now I have a 1 minute and 55-second long video that has, you know, content that is relative to my articles that I posted. Of course, as you guys know, at Ezoic and in the publishing world, that content is the most important thing. Content is king. So you guys can spend more time on this. You can customize this more. You know, you can insert your own media. You can create a new slide. Oops. Look, I have all these different edits here. This is the one I made actually last week. You can go through and edit these, but simply when you're done, you'll go from preview, and then you can basically, this will show render your video. It'll take about, you know, 10 minutes or so, and you can simply just hit like upload to Humix Studio. Oh, there's an error, probably because it already exists in Humix. So now that you guys actually have a video that you made, so now there's no excuse not to have a video. But let's say you weren't, you know, using YouTube before, you're not really comfortable using video editing software. This is basically your perfect example and your perfect introduction to actually creating videos. And now again, now that we have a video, we're going to be uploading it and using Humix to share it on your guys' site and anyone else's site that also wants to use it. So yes, you're saying, okay, so now that I have my video, I can share it on my pages. I can share it on other people's pages. Yes, that is exactly it. So Humix is basically like a video sharing network where, you know, let's say Joanne made that video and I have a video that's also about hiking and boots, and where her video is relative to my content. I can grab Joanne's video that she made through Humix, add it to my page, you know, add a placeholder, assign Joanne's video to my placeholder, and then Joanne's video that is relative to my content will be showing on my page. And you're saying, okay, Charlie, that's awesome, but like, why am I now getting the revenue for Joanne's video that she made? Well, we're actually going to split that 50-50. So Joanne's going to also be getting some of that revenue. So honestly, the more Joanne uses it, the more Daniel uses it, the more Beatrice uses it, the better you guys all will be. Because Joanne, if she makes a really, really great video that 100 different publishers want to use, and she's getting 10,000 page views, you know, she's going to be really, really seeing the benefits from that traffic, even though her site might be really small. As you guys saw, she's, you know, this is a brand new site. It's a great one, but this will really serve as a catalyst to getting more traffic and revenue. So Joanne, I want to say again, that was a great article, and thanks for basically allowing me to use your article as an example there. If you guys have basically questions conceptually of how that is and what it works or how that does, I'll be more than happy to go through that again. But now that we're in Humix, you can basically see the different ways you can upload videos. You can upload a new video simply through here, upload an entire batch, or you can just import all of your videos through YouTube to Humix. So you really have no excuse of getting these videos here. This does not mean you actually have to remove your videos from YouTube. In fact, I would be your biggest advocate for saying, hey, let's actually get those videos shared in YouTube, because why not? Of course, there's pretty strict monetization requirements. It's, you know, I think you need like 1,000 subscribers. You need 4,000 hours watched of your content, I think. And there's also like maybe one other requirement. So even just to get your first dollar through YouTube, you're gonna have to put in a ton of work. But as you guys know, Ezoic is the most inclusive platform. So there is no limits. You can simply just create your videos, upload them here, and then you can see the revenue on your own pages and others. To add to that, you can also have your videos and your pages indexed through Google. So now your videos can show in 3 places. We have Humix, we have YouTube, we have Google. Exactly, Beatrice imported hers from YouTube. I'm sure that was a very easy process. I've also done that as well. But But one of the bigger search engines that I think doesn't really get talked about is actually Google Images and Videos. So now you can actually upload these videos that you create through Flickify. You're going to add them to Humix, YouTube, Google Videos. So now you have 4 basically massive avenues of revenue and basically ways you guys can be generating income. Sorry, I'm reading some of these questions as we go. I think the AI pulled in their related post context. Yeah, I think it did as well. So I actually already sent that over to the video team to have them basically take a look. But I really wanted to talk about why Humix is so important, especially for Access Now publishers. I think I used that example. It's kind of like being in the internet in the early 2000s. That's what basically Tyler was talking to us about yesterday. So, Joanne, this is a good question. Can you import other people's video from YouTube? No, you're only going to want to import your own videos through YouTube and then basically share them to Humix. And then through Humix, you can use other people's videos. So, Joanne, whoever's video that you saw on YouTube, if that person were to upload it to Humix and then enable sharing, then you can actually go ahead and use it. So, as you guys see, I have this video right here. I don't have any displayed or shared. I don't know why my other video was deleted, but I had another video here that was for car content. And then basically when I go through, I can do enable sharing, and then that will allow other publishers to share their videos. So Joanne, they're gonna need to upload it and then enable sharing, and then you can use those videos on your pages. But I think the most important thing I learned about Humix yesterday was really the size and the gravity of Humix. On a monthly basis, they're seeing 1.4 billion page views. So in a month, they're seeing 1.4 billion page views. They're saying that's about the same exact size as Snapchat. And as you guys know, Snapchat is a massive, massive platform. And in terms of page views, we are matching it at 1.4 billion page views. That is insane. And again, you guys are saying, even you, Joanne, I'm going to use you as an example. Sorry if I'm beating a dead bush here, but you're a brand new site. Let's say you were to upload some really great videos. That can be shared across hundreds of pages. We have a math site where the publisher basically uploaded a plethora of really great videos that walk through a handful of different things. His videos are now showing up all over Ezoics sites because it's very valid and it's very useful for other publishers. So now this publisher is seeing hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of revenue purely through Humix. So again, this is something you guys should really jump on now. Get your videos up here, enable the sharing so other publishers can use them, and then really see the benefits of these 1.4 billion page views, because this will grow. The demand will grow more as time goes on. So the earlier you do getting your foot into the door, kind of the better off you'll be. Again, it's never too late. So that's never the issue. Let me stop sharing my screen. And if you guys even if you're saying, okay, I know this is a new Flickify feature, I know it's rather easy, but still, I'm not super comfortable doing this. I am going to share. I'm going to share this Google Doc with you right here. This is for Access Now publishers. So if you're saying, hey, Charlie, I don't want to create my own video, simply access this link I'm about to drop here right now. And we're going to create videos for you. And we're just going to, we've already made the tool to make it easy for you all, but we're actually going to go ahead and just do the work for you as well for now. So you guys can get 5 free videos through this link right here. Simply go into that Google Doc, enter your information, and then we'll make those 5 videos for you so that you don't even have to do that. Another reason why this is so important is because we're basically going to give you guys all the tools, and we're going to give you all the benefits of this. Amazon's going to continue to cut their revenue shares. YouTube's done it in the past and is going to continue to probably do it in the future. They have no reason not to. Again, they really, really don't. Humix has no limits. One of the really, really impressive things that I saw from yesterday as well, and some of the data, is that The average income per video for all publishers on Ezoic, again, this is going to be all publishers, not just Access Now, is $63. And on top of that, they're seeing about 10,000 new views per month when you're adding a video to your page. You know, again, we talked about SEMrush releasing that article from last week, talking about the importance of actually having at least one video on your page. But you can see, but they were saying that about, you know, pages with one video at least see about 83% more traffic than pages without it. I have a new, some more data to back up this. As of yesterday, our publisher success team pulled some data and found that publishers that are using Humix and sharing their videos are seeing an average, are having an average about 15% higher EPMB compared to publishers that are not. Again, more revenue, more views, higher EPMB. We're really giving you guys all the tools for success here. See, make sure I'm not missing anything here for you all. But yeah, I know that was a lot. I'm definitely going to be going into these future live streams. I'm going to be probably breaking these down specifically one by one. But now that it is Customer Week, I wanted to give you guys a good idea of what this is, how to use it, basically how this works in your favor. But again, please go through and, oh yeah, Annex, can you actually share your domain with me again? I would love to make another example. Oh, the link's broken. Let me pull a different link for you all. Can you try that link for us? Annex, drop me your domain. I'm pretty sure I remember it, but I would love to do. I would love to create another one for you guys. But let me go back through and answer some of these questions because I know you guys were asking a handful of videos about it. Okay. A little bit off topic here, but Shwara, this is a great question. So they were being denied for Google Ad Manager for low value content. I'm going to have you do two things really quick on your site right now. The first thing I want you to do is go through your menu and make sure that every category of your menu leads to a page with at least 6 articles. So let's say you have, I see you have a soccer emblem. So let's say this is a soccer site. Let's say you have a category in your menu that's all about like Man United. Let's say there's only 3 or 4 articles underneath Man United as a category. That's going to get denied for low value content. So you want to make sure there's 6 articles or more. And then the second thing you want to make sure is that you have no articles that repeat across different categories of your menu. So let's say you have like a Premier League as a category in your menu, and you also have like Man United as one. Let's say a Man United article can fit under both of those categories. You want to make sure that even though it fits under both categories, it only exists under one, because Google, if it sees duplicated content, it's going to basically deny it for low value content. Beatrice says, I have 6 Moon videos uploaded to my Humix, but I have to learn what I can do with Humix. So if you've already uploaded those 6 Moon videos, that's awesome. What I would ask you to do, Beatrice, make sure you do have the video share feature enabled. So that will actually allow other publishers to use your videos on their pages. Sorry, that was a little bit of a mouthful. But yeah, you want to make sure that the share video feature is enabled. Court says, why my LCP TCP decreased from 88 to 45 after using Ezoic Leap? So without seeing your domain specifically, I can answer this more vaguely, but it'd be easier to actually see your domain. There's a couple things to consider here. So let's say you're using a page speed test, which is kind of the very popular one you guys all used before. And then let's say you were to transfer and go over to use Leap, and let's say Page Speed Insights, for example, if that is what you're using, they actually analyze completely different things and they work in very different ways. Page speed will basically use a lab type setting, so like a non-real user will basically scan your page as a fake visit. It won't even scan your entire page. It's only going to scan what's in the top, basically above the fold, which does not replicate what a real user would do. As you guys know, as a real users of the internet, you're probably going to visit a page and scroll throughout the entire thing. So page speed insights is giving you data from not a real user and only above the fold. So I could easily manipulate this test and actually move some of my bigger images and elements below the fold, and then my page speed insight might be 95. But in reality, I could have a very slow loading page, a very long one that has tons of issues, but page speed test is basically going to say, hey, these old metrics that we're analyzing that aren't even relevant are basically being skewed because I'm having them basically below the fold. And then on the contrary, Leap is actually using real user data to analyze your pages. It's going to analyze valid metrics, which are your core web vitals, which are important for Google, your rankings, and everything else. But on top of that, it sounds like you probably went from, the most common thing I see in this program is publishers using, WordPress Rocket or some external caching. They disable it and use Leap, and then right away they're looking at these scores. We got to remember that when you also enable Leap and you're going to enable the caching app through Ezoic, you're going to want the caching through Ezoic to actually build up so we can serve cached versions of your pages to your users. That's really going to help with your LCP. There is a correlation between higher cache hit rate and lower LCP scores, lower scores as in lower speed time. So actually higher ranking scores. What I'm trying to say is better caching equals better LCP. So there's a handful of things I want to go in here, and I would love to look at your setup specifically, but just based off the way that Leap works and page speed is they're actually very different tests. Again, page speed, not real user, not valid metrics, doesn't scan the whole page. Leap is real users, entire page, and valid metrics. So I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I can reiterate that again. If you want me to actually go through your real some of your actual pages, I'll be more than happy to do that. I can show you exactly what is hindering site speed, because Leap is actually an unbiased tool. It's not going to say, hey, this is what we're scanning. This is, these are the elements and sections that we're choosing to scan. Leap is actually just going to say, hey, from an unbiased perspective, these are all of the things that are hindering site speed. So then it's really up to you guys. Really the changes that you want to make. Let's say you're running 15 plugins, maybe 5 of them are essential. Ditch those other 10, ditch those other plugins if they're not essential, because if you do have more things and more features and technology loaded on the back end, it is going to slow down your site, which is why Leap is such a valid tool, because it's just going to flag everything that's hindering site speed. So you can really get a good basis of everything that comes into play here, not just a couple specific things. But good question there. Again, this is that's something we can cover in depth a little bit more, because it is, a question and concern that a lot of publishers have. But I think it's just a misunderstanding of how Leap actually works and how it varies from page speed and other site speed tests. Okay, so this is also a really good question. It's paying X amount for 21,000 views, which is nothing compared to YouTube. And I feel like it slowed down my site using Leap with plummeting web vitals. So again, there's probably a lot of other things on the page that are hindering site speed, but there are actually changes we can make and that you can change to your setup. So for example, some of the things you can do is actually add your video maybe below the second paragraph, because sometimes that's below the fold, so the page can actually load a little bit quicker. Another one is to actually add it to the sidebar, either mid content or top of content. But again, as I said before, most of the videos, as we've seen, are actually on the mobile platform. So we want to make sure that if you do add them to the sidebar, you do add another placeholder for the actual in content, because as you guys know, there is going to be no sidebar for your mobile pages. But another thing to consider here is the actual barrier to entry for YouTube. So the revenue share is not going to be the same. YouTube's going to be taking a ton more revenue. Not only that, but you're going to have to build up and work really hard to get 1,000 subscribers. Not only that, you're going to have to work and create content to get 5,000 hours of videos watched on your page, and then you can start earning bare minimum revenue. And then when you do that, YouTube can take a lot of this away. I don't know what their revenue split is, but they have cut their revenue, Amazon did it recently with their affiliate links. There's no reason why anyone else can't. But Humix, you basically will not. So these are all things we can work through. Again, you want to think about also the types of videos you're creating and the pages that they're sharing. So if you do go into your Humix tab and go to the shared, do some analysis there and see how your videos are actually being used. But if you want me to actually look into your setup right now, I can simply share my screen. I'd be more than happy to do that. Noam says, hello, I have a blogspot with 10,000 monthly viewers. I started integrating with Ezoic, but stuck on editing ads.txt. I tried many ways to access my Blogger htaccess file, but doesn't work. Any advice? So, yes. So when you are on Blogspot and you want to add your ads.txt, you can actually go into your dashboard, find the monetization tab, and you can actually manually upload all the ads.txt files. There are some limitations to this. The first and most important being that our ads.txt file does update quite frequently. I think by the week is the time frame. So you would have to go in and actually manually update those by week. But again, you can go to the monetization tab of your Blogspot dashboard and manually update them. What I would do for you is I would actually just transfer to WordPress. This is not a hard process. I've done a bunch in the past with publishers. So if you want to do that, you can go to the community, open a thread and say, hey, I would love to convert over to WordPress. But essentially working with WordPress is going to be much more flawless, much more seamless. We can automatically update your ads.txt. We can set up your ads.txt for you. But the main reason being you can actually integrate via our CDN. And when you do that, we can control and update and do this automatically for you. So that would probably be my best form of advice. And if you want me to do that and work with you right after this, I'll be more than happy to do so. Good question here. Hey there, Charlie. Hoping you're good, Chief. I appreciate that. Hope you are doing well as well. I was saying as well. I have an ask, what happens if I'm on a 2-year premium Ezoic plan and let's say 1 year and 6 months down the line, I notice that it's no longer profitable and I decide to cancel the plan? Will I be able to? I'm not sure exactly what the cancel clause is, as most of this is done with the PSM team, but premium is always going to be a profitable plan. You do have to either pay with a credit card or pay with some of your earnings. But what you pay for premium will always be outnumbered by the profits. So let's say, it's a $10 buy-in or fee. You're always going to be making more than $5. So our premium plan is always going to be profitable, and that's definitely something that if it's a concern for you, you do want to reach out to your PSN. Again, that's not as important for access now, but if this does pertain to you, definitely reach out to your publisher success manager. But again, premium is always going to be profitable. So yes, this is actually right. Daniel, if you are creating videos, under the sun, I'll just call you that, under the sun, this is a good point. Add it to YouTube as well, but there's no reason you can't also add it to Humix. There's no reason you can't also get your pages indexed on Google and Google videos. So it's like, why not give yourself every avenue of revenue and not just set your own limitations? Because there are many limitations that are being set on you and from other people in other places, but don't set your own limitations for the ways you can actually earn more revenue. Joanne says, love this new feature. I do too. It's really easy. I actually do love editing videos as it is, but this is such a good avenue and it's a great starting point for a lot of us here. Beatrice says the same. I agree, Joanne. This feature seems great. Is there a limit to the number of videos we can create a month? No, not that I know of. I can for sure ask, but rarely we ever set limitations of this sort. As you guys saw in the corner before, this is still technically a beta feature, but that doesn't mean that we have put extensive time and research and development into this. It's really saying is that we're continually going to make changes and improvements, so it only gets better and better and better. So yes, they actually can do this way. That's a great point. This is definitely a good way to go through this. But since you do have your domain, you can basically add it through your account, and then Humix will also serve as like a dashboard for videos as well. Okay, cool. That linked worked for you guys. Good. Yeah. So everyone, I'm gonna pin this comment right here. This Google Doc is basically going to be, your guys' free first 5 videos. This is specific to the Access Now program, so this is kind of a cool feature enabled for you guys all. But if you guys want to go in there, submit some basic information, and then we'll create those videos for you all. Mr. Wright, we actually, so he's saying, this is my domain. I'm not getting the invite link to Twist, and my domain's been in review for 2 months. So we actually are going to move away from Twist for a handful of reasons. Twist was setting some limitations of the things we wanted to do with you all, but we actually built out the new community to work in the same way as Twist. So it's basically going to be like an open community where we all work together. We can help solve each other's issues. But it's also going to have like the DM functions that Twist had. So we're really not losing anything. We're only gaining more and more features. So instead of going through there, access the link I just sent at the bottom, and then use our new community from there. Oh, Beatrice, awesome. Enabled share video. Thank you. Yeah. So if you guys have added videos to Humix, make sure you do have the share video feature enabled if you do want others to actually share your videos. Again, there's no reason not to. Let's say someone shares your video on a page that does 10,000 views in a month, and you guys split 50% of that revenue. That's going to be a lot of revenue just from one publisher, when in reality, hundreds of publishers could also share the video at the same time if they also find it useful. Okay, Annex. So yes, Annex is right. So Annex actually did email me their domain. The reason being is that when you comment your domain URL on YouTube, it's automatically going to filter it out. So sometimes what publishers do in here is they actually just send me their domain name without the .com or the .xyz, or anything like that. Perfect. So I'm gonna pull up Annex's video for you, or page for you guys. This is the website. The recent Google update sadly destroyed in the process of reviewing all content of right. So these new Ezoic tools are great help. Please do not share the other domains in my account. For sure, I will not do that. Let me pull up this domain only, share it so the other ones do not get shown. But Rude and I have worked together on a handful of different things. So Rude, thanks for reaching out again. I'm always happy to help, more than happy to help. I just want to pull up your pub dash without going through there. On the bright side, Rude, your EPMV has been very solid. So I'd like to just say, kudos to you on that. I know, what was it, 2 days ago, you had nearly a $23 EPMV. Really well done. You have a lot of really, really great things going through here. Okay, so thanks okay, so Clever Code said, do you know why initial IQs give me an error suddenly? It used to be working before for me, and it gave me lots of great suggestions for topics. Now it said it doesn't have enough data, which is weird. And it looks like this was also an issue for for Annex, for Rude. So Rude, I can actually use your domain as an example to flag this with the team. But if you guys have made no changes either at your host or with your current setup, then this is for sure something we should go into. I'm sure if I were to pull up my pages, or our business channel where we all communicate, I'll probably see some reportings of the same. But I'll make sure I flag that with the team right after this. Let me write that down. Cool. I'm going to share my screen now. Rude, thank you again for allowing me to use your dashboard here. I really do appreciate it. But let me see exactly what you were talking about. So, okay, yeah, I'll go into this a bit more after, but cool. Cash, sorry, whenever I pull up these, I like to get a good idea of what your guys' current progresses look like, maybe things to change, to improve. But let's jump into it. Just kidding, let's go back really quick. Let's go to the analytics. Let's find one of their better performing pages. This is an awesome site, by the way, Rude. I know I say that all the time, but I really do love this one. I think this is a great niche. EPMV is doing really, really well. So I'd like to say just, good job there. Let's do this one. So again, I'm going to grab the URL. Let's go back to Ezoic. Head into Flickify. Rude, can you go into your Flickify dashboard really quick and just accept these terms and conditions? That is something you're going to have to do on your end before I can actually create a video. But I'll go ahead and just keep answering some questions. But Rude, if you could do that for me right now, that'd be great. Just make sure you give those terms of use just a quick view, and it reads, so you know exactly what's going on here. Yoga says, first off, I'd like to say welcome. Thanks for joining. My name is Charlie. I know I'm an hour in, but if you are just joining, I know some people are actually saying, hello, Charlie, I'm joining in late. But they say, tomorrow I have successfully approved at Ezoic, but at level is pending, and when ads show on my site. So first off, welcome to the platform. So it says tomorrow you'll have successfully been approved for Ezoic. So if you're also approved for Google Ad Manager, right as the approvals hit, your ads will start showing, because when you do set up through the onboarding steps, you do set up placeholders. So you basically are dialed in to go. Your ads.txt will be set up. Your consent management will set up. Everything will be set up. So right as the approval hits, ads will start to show. And again, head to the community if you have any confusion. I'll be more than happy to do it. TechHouse says, did anyone mention drop in Humix video views? 9% drop in my case from 3,000 videos. That's incredible. Well, incredible, not the drop, but the 3,000 videos. No, but if I know your domain, I'll be more than happy to open this and go into this and exactly figure out what is here. But without knowing off the top of my head, I don't want to give you guys an answer that's not true or not very valid here. Plant.view says hello. Hello back to you, Plant.view. I love all of our garden-ish websites. They all perform really well. I'm also just kind of a fiend for gardening as well. So it's one of my hidden things I haven't exposed to you guys yet. The Humix default video size is spoiling the user experience on my site. I tried to change, but it didn't happen, and suggests me to upgrade for that. That is not fair. So there's actually no upgrade you can do. And when I do create this video for Rude, I will show you how to actually change the size of it, and you can make it smaller. But all of our optimizations are by what Google policies have set. So we won't create anything that's bigger than what's not allowed by privacy. On top of that, user experience is the primary focus for us all. So we will never be going out of our way to hinder user experience, especially in a manner like this. So you do not have to upgrade, and I can show you exactly how to change the size of it. But Rude is an advocate. Rude is on premium. So to back up your claim before, yes, premium is great. It's a magical way to earn extra free income. That's right, and has other benefits too. There are a bunch of other amazing benefits, and again, your return of investment is always going to be on the positive side of things here. You'll never be paying for a premium and earning less, never. When we initially join Ezoic, it gives me a good EPMV, but with time it reduces. Earlier, pure Ezoic EPMV was much higher, and now I'm getting much lower EPMV along with premium and mediation. So whenever these things do go down, 99% of the time it's going to be an issue with the setup. So either changes were made at your host, changes were made with your AdSense placeholder setup. Maybe you added AdSense ads and they're showing alongside Ezoic ones, but there for sure is something in the setup that we can go along with and actually fix, because as time goes on and as our AI has more data, the better the variations and the variables it'll test, the better the user experience will be, the better the engagement will then follow, and then finally your revenue and everything will be the best. So as time goes on, this is quite literally the opposite, which is why I'm so confident in saying that there's an issue with the setup and not actually how this is working. Thanks. Oh, so this is back to the blogspot ads.txt question. Thanks. But which exact text I should paste on the ads.txt file? Because the problem is the redirecting to the ads.txt. I try to paste some text I get from the instruction, but Blogger says unsupported. So okay, so that's what you're saying. You can't get access to your htaccess file. You should be able to set up a simple redirect to the ads.txt manager app, and then you can basically go through the ads.txt manager app in the Ezoic dashboard. But again, I can help you set this up right after, but this kind of does point to one of the many reasons why Blogspot is not the best way to use Ezoic. It's to actually migrate to WordPress, and then we can talk about more of the optimization features you're missing out by not integrating through our cloud. But again, we can go into that a bit more after this. I know you just posted in the community, so that's something we can work on today. Yeah. So yeah, rude. Your EPMV has always been really high, but the Google update really did, take a big hit on traffic. But one of the good things is now that you do have these new features and you do have Niche IQ to actually, find your broken pages, find your error pages, and it will help you with your SEO efforts moving forward. I think that's going to be one of the bigger. It's probably going to be one of the bigger topics I cover next week. Okay, but it looks like Root did accept these, so now I can actually move forward. Cool. Thank you for doing that. I do appreciate that. So I think we still have this URL. So now we're going to enter this URL simply right here. We're going to hit go. Oh, cool. So it's actually going to summarize our content for this. Let's grab the summarized content because it's going to pick the shorter version with the important points. Or we can simply select the original and it's going to create a lot more slides, a lot more length, which is totally fine. Oh yeah, clever quotes. I didn't really fully go into this because I didn't understand exactly what the issue was. And it'll probably be hard for me to actually figure out what's going on in the back end right here in front of me. I'll probably need the actual team to go through it with me. But I did write it down right here, and I'm going to report it to the team directly after. That's also kind of the beauty of using Ezoic and a company like us is, it's not going to, I don't have to go report to someone else and then ask someone else to report this issue and then ask someone else to report this issue. Is I can actually just, if I find an issue with one publisher, especially a second one that really builds up my case, I can go directly to the developer that created it. He can troubleshoot for me, push a fix. So not only does your site get the fix, but everyone else that has the same issue, everything will be fixed. So that's another one of the amazing things is that things here at Ezoic move very fast. We're always staying on top of it. We're always pushing new features. We're always pushing new updates for our current and old features. We're always just, a continuous work in progress. Cool. So now we've rendered the content over here on this side. We can see the highlights broken down into many different things. Oh, this is the Flickify guide. What am I saying? Okay, cool. So again, we have the media player. Let's go into the settings right here. Again, so this is about, can you bring solar lights on a plane? So I think my general focus and theme, let's do Amy, female voice, English, Great Britain. Add a soundtrack. Let's do Give Me Elevation. Because I'm, my science brain is going solar rays and elevation. Let's choose this one. Let's change the theme here. Let's find one maybe that's like sun. No. No. Okay, let's find one we'll just do here. I kind of like this autumn one. Again, you can always go through and edit if you're like, hey, Charlie, the one you picked, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not as keen as you are. You can always go through and change those for sure. But this one's kind of cool, like a city backdrop. It kind of gives me like an innovative vibe. But let's actually pick that one. I kind of like this one, the city backdrop. Apply theme to all scenes, yes. So that way the theme is actually going to show the same in the back. Not only that, but it kind of gives me like a rooftop type feeling. So, similar to where a solar panel would actually be. Trying to see what other pinpoints you have here. Cool. But then honestly, from here, like if you wanted to leave it at that, your video's done. As easy as that was, your video is already done. I'll generate the preview just to make sure things do actually show. My volume is off because it'll echo ridiculously through here. Oh my God, I'm not screen sharing. Wow. Hold on. Let me start this over. I can't believe I just did that. Okay, so I wasn't sharing my screen. I just went through that and was talking like a madman for nothing. So I'm going to restart this and do it right now. But Sharon, thank you for adding the exact error code for the niche IQ because this does help. They said there was an error validating your request. Please reload the page. If the error persists, please contact support. Okay, so that helps a lot. Thank you for adding the actual error. Error validating your request. I can't believe I just went through that not sharing my screen. But the beauty of this is creating videos through Flickify is extremely easy. So I can honestly go back through and create this video in half the time now that I've explained it. So as I was saying before, not showing you all, I can either choose the summarized content or the original script. So this original script is actually going to include all of the words they have on their entire article, or I can choose the summarized one. Let's do the summarized one just for now because I think it'll render a bit quicker. So just in terms of an example, it'll be easier. So again, it's going to load your media library here on the left side. Let's grab this settings tab right here, this little icon. This is where we're actually going to start making the edits and the changes. Can't believe I wasn't sharing my screen. I'm so sorry. Again, let's choose Amy. So this is going to be a female voice. It's going to be English, and she's going to be from Great Britain. So let's choose this. From there, so now we have a narrator speaking. Let's add a track. Again, I wanted to choose, I think, Give Me Elevation was the one I chose. Boom. Let's change the theme because this blurry background is kind of, there's not a lot going on here. And the one I actually chose was the city backdrop because solar's an innovative new technology, so it kind of fits the theme of this rooftop type looking thing with the city background. Where'd it go? Where did my backdrop go? Oh, here it is. City backdrop. Perfect. Look, I applied that to all scenes, so now it's going to be the background for all. And then in theory, without making any other changes, I'm actually technically done. Of course, I can go through and actually see the narration. I can edit the slides and change to actually what's being shown or what I would like to show. See, just simply clicking on it. I can shuffle these things around. I can change the default slide delay time, but I like to keep it as short as possible so things do move pretty slowly. And then from there, I can preview. You guys can actually see the generated preview and see the entire video that was just created for you. Oh yeah, rude. So I think we actually did push an update for this. I saw some comments about that yesterday, and the team was working on it. Cool. So now that this is done, you can view it. My volume is off. I don't want it to echo for you guys. Or let's see if it does show. Right? Once you're done with that, you can do I'm done, render my video. I'll render this for you just so you have this as an example route. I don't want to, but I'll just I'm not going to publish this video when it's rendered. I'll have it render. So once it's done rendering, it'll send you an email. So that way it won't publish for you because I'm making this for you. We'll take it from here. Your video will be ready soon. You can leave this page while it's working. So, excuse me, I can simply go back to the dashboard. But once it's done rendering, I can literally just go to this page. I can open the Chrome extension, excuse me. And then once that video is rendered, I missed a step. I can then upload it to the Humix dashboard. I can go into Humix, create, select embed location, create a location, apply that video I just made to this page and placeholder, and then you're done, and then it's showing. Again, the one thing I'll remind you is make sure you enable video sharing so that way others can actually use this video as well, which is one of the most beautiful part about using Humix. Beatrice says, at Charlie, when I let Humix optimize video ads, do I have to bother with adjusting the ad lengths or is it automatically done by Humix? Good question. So the default settings will always be what we found has been optimized based on the data we have, but you can actually go through and change the length of the ad shown. You can also change these like pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll as well. And that can all be done through the dashboard. So we don't have any to actually share here, but I can show you exactly how to do that. So if you go monetization, ad length, we can change that, but we don't have anything actually to display right now. So that'll be your ad configuration, and then change things from there. So once you do get that email, upload it to Humix, enable video sharing, add it to the page, and you're all done. Clever quotes. Thanks, Charlie. You're the best. No, you guys are the best. You guys are for sure the best. Canadian fans here. Oh, I wish I had my Blue Jays jacket on today. But you, along with some of the other people in the C-suite at Ezoic, are also a lot of Canadians. So we're fans of you here as well. Sean says, thank you, Charlie. You're the best. I have an air with niche IQ. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. So this is a little bit off topic, but this is a really, really great question I would love to answer. I get approval from Ezoic and AdSense at the same time. Which one I've set up first? So I think there's a lot of you in here that could answer this question just as well as I can because you guys are very well educated on this. But the best thing to do is actually go through, set your Ezoic traffic to 100%. go through your placeholder setup to make sure it's fully dialed in, especially with your top landing pages. So now that you're fully set up through Ezoic, let's make sure we're taking advantage of the AdSense approval. If you go to the Ezoic Ads tab of your dashboard, you're going to find mediation. From there, you can link your AdSense account to Ezoic, and then you can actually enable mediation, which will allow Ezoic partners to bid against Ezoic for your inventory. So what this means for you is you'll basically be optimized all through the same versions of your pages, and you'll be earning as much as possible for each location. So if AdSense outbids Ezoic, AdSense will pay that highest bid, and then you'll get paid out through AdSense. So from your end, you're seeing the benefits from both sides here, and you're going to be earning as much as possible for each inventory. Is there a way to show subtitles? That's a great question. And yes, let's see, video, media library. It's still rendering, so I'm not sure if I can right now. I know I'm not sharing my screen quite yet. But yeah, I'll figure out how to get that going for you guys, because I actually covered that last week, and now I don't remember how I did it. But yeah, I covered that last week, so we can definitely go through that for you, Daniel. Annex, Rude, and Clever Quote said, Charlie, can we get your voice for all videos as a premium feature? Honestly, that would be honestly hilarious. I don't know if you guys think if my voice is annoying or not. If you really wanted to, maybe I could go through, because if I share my screen really quick, I can show you exactly how this would be possible, which makes Flickify that much cooler of a feature. But if I were to literally go through, you can be your own narrator. So you guys are probably saying that as a joke, but I honestly feel like I would go through and actually do that for you guys. I'd probably have to do that on my own time. It might not be the most productive thing for me to do here, but that would be pretty funny. I would love to do that. Root says, thanks, Charlie, for that tutorial. Fantastic and so easy. Yeah, you're exactly right. It is that easy. I mean, I made like 4 videos, and probably in the 15 minutes I was actually sharing my screen, and I can make 10 more in the next 30. But yeah, that's exactly how you guys will use Flickify. That's exactly how you guys will take advantage of Humix, and then we can go from there. Charlie, do you think on-page SEO from Niche IQ is useful to enable? Of course, obviously, if the feature was built out, it's going to be a very, very beneficial for you all. I think Niche IQ is going to be the focus for next week, so we can really go into depth on exactly what we're going to be doing there and what it actually has to offer. Sorry, I'm reading here. Oh, absolutely. So, okay, so for sure, clever quotes, 100% here. So let me read just the description again. So on-page SEO, in one of the most important aspects, so I think that's a typo. On-page SEO is one of the most important aspects of running a successful website, since the majority of traffic typically comes from search engines. This tool allows you to test title and description variants for your pages and track which ones generate the most traffic, revenues, CTR, or decreases bounce rate. Once your test is completed, it can automatically promote the title that worked best. So yeah, of course, I don't see any reason why this would not be useful to enable. If we do run a handful of different tests and we find that one does outperform the others, we leave that one enabled. That's only going to be beneficial from your end, which is kind of the underlying umbrella feature, and basically best feature of Ezoic as it is, coming from the ad tester, layout tester, title tag tester. This is exactly what it is. We're going to test a handful of different things. Whatever points to be the most productive and the most beneficial for you all, we're going to use. Again, that's kind of exactly where Ezoic stemmed from, its roots, especially in terms of ad tester. So yeah, I for sure Rude has it enabled. Rude's a very successful publisher, so I for sure would say as well. Oh, Daniel, yes. Great question. So they're asking, is there a recommended location for the video? So I mean, we've been testing this a good bit, but basically the two areas, I'm going to share my screen here, that I would suggest is kind of underneath the second paragraph here, or underneath, well, let's say this is the top paragraph. I know it's a little bit shorter because, we're kind of answering a question, and we're giving some descriptive information, but maybe like somewhere around right here, like just below the fold maybe, in mid content, you can also add it through the sidebar right here in the middle, or in the top, or down at the bottom if you would like. But my primary two locations I would suggest were somewhere around the middle top of your in content, and then the top middle sidebar. If you guys are only adding placeholder or video placeholders through the sidebar, I would definitely ask you to take a second to consider adding one to the middle content here as well, because again, as we found, a lot of the device traffic for the videos is actually going to be through your mobile versions of your pages. So if a majority of the traffic for videos is going to be viewed through mobile, it's definitely something we want to consider by adding it to the mid content, because then we can enable it for mobile pages. Again, if we only add it to sidebar on the desktop and most of your viewers are coming from mobile for your videos, there is going to be no sidebar in your mobile versions of your pages, and then you'll be kind of missing out on a massive check there. Rude says, Charlie, if you don't mind, can you check my video placeholder? Want a placeholder at the top of the page below the fold that only shows that Flickify video, plus bottom of the placeholder with the random Humix video. Yeah, so let me at least show you how to do, well, the page hasn't technically rendered yet, and when it does, you'll get the email. But again, let's do Humix, create here, select embed location. Let's say we want to add it, let's add it just above the table of contents. Let's go below this P element, insert here. So auto select or select a video from playlist. So once I press select video from playlist, this will actually allow me to actually add the video itself. And then I forget who asked the question about the size. So once that video renders and I add it, I can click it here. And then from here, I can actually change the size and width of the placeholder. So that way we do have a certain size for the video to show. Again, auto start, loop. Again, I can't click on these because I don't have a video selected. I'm not sure if it's rendered yet, Rude, but if it has, go through there. So yeah, I would either insert it here. Again, I can't select a video yet, or I would say, let's go back here, or somewhere like maybe like right here. Or if you really wanted to, you could have it enable it here, and then when you select the floating, once you're actually below the content here, it will start to float. That was this right here, float after viewing. That'll be that feature here. So you can still add it to the top of the page and then have it float below all the content below. Beatrice says, Charlie, your voice is not annoying at all. Clever Code says, not annoying at all. No joke, to be honest. Annex says, it's so soothing. Well, I'm happy it's not annoying because, I mean, as you guys know, our human ear doesn't pick up our tone and voice the same way it does others do. So I guess it's reassuring to hear that I'm not annoying. Okay, so this is a great suggestion. And I actually do have a YouTube video that I uploaded earlier today because I wanted to upload it early this morning so I could actually show you how to upload the video through Humix. But they're saying Humix integration is not very clear for network display videos. A YouTube video tutorial would be great. I'll be more than happy to do this for you. I'll present this to you next week, Anchor, so that way I can actually have it fully set up and dialed in. and I'm not like leaving you hanging and just scrambling and wasting time. Humix integration, network display videos. Okay, sorry. Yes, I actually do keep handwritten notes. I know it's old school, but I think writing things down really works well for me. So even though working for a tech company, I take notes in a notebook every single day. Maybe that's the inner childhood coming out of me. I used to write notes in a notebook, obviously in school and all, but I do write things down a lot. Is that important for you all? No, but it's what's in my head, so I had to share. Ruth said, my big data analytics shows several people from the stream going through my pages. We can either discontinue that, or I'm sure people were just curious to see how your pages actually look. But Anik says, nice. Ruth says video hasn't rendered yet, but this is great to see for the placeholder. It means I can make a Flickify video for every article and show that only to that page. You are exactly right. You can assign that video to that placeholder to that page, and you're exactly right here, Rude. Honestly, I would for sure do it at least for your 15 to 20 top, landing pages. It's a very easy task to do, and the benefits will be tenfold. When I search in YouTube, no official Humix tutorial PO. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, okay. Well, that is actually something we're working on. I'm actually currently right next to the marketing room. So I know Tyler and his team have been working on both writing a written one to show you how to do it. But I think that these YouTube tutorials will be very beneficial moving forward, which is something that I'm also going to be focusing on a lot. So I can actually work on one of these for you as well. It might not be on the full on YouTube page, but as you guys can see, this is a live stream through YouTube, so similar, and you can rewatch these. But I'll make a shorter one to show you guys exactly how to use this. Ruth says very useful. Thank you, Charlie. And Anchor says thanks as well. Of course. I'll do literally anything in my power that will benefit you guys, whether it's knowledge, whether it's actually taking action on my own side to edit your guys' pages. I will literally do anything in my power to help you guys. I really do mean that. I usually rant about this a little bit each live stream, but I think I really enjoy working in the Access Now program the most. Of course, working in the VIP and the level 4 and level 5 and level 3 would be really cool, but it's kind of been done and no one else is doing it, and no one else really wants to fight for the smaller publishers. So that's something I intrinsically take a ton of value about. Is kind of fighting for you all and the other people that won't put the time and effort in for you all. But again, I just want to reassure you guys that I will always do whatever I can to help you guys out 100%. Clever quotes. No, you're not being annoying at all. That's totally fine. Do you have any estimated time when the niche IQ should be fixed? Mostly for search topics. So I don't have an estimated time right now. But I know this has been already brought up. Okay, so this was actually reported yesterday. Alex from our PSM team, who's an awesome person, says is reporting an error in the topics of niche IQ. There's an error validating your request. I'm able to replicate, and oh, okay, awesome. So I do have one. I just went through our channel and said that there could be a fix. They said this has been a bug. They actually knew it before. They said they think we have actually found the fix. This is coming from Gerald, who actually built out this feature. And he said it should be fixed by the end of tomorrow. And that was sent yesterday. So by the end of today, hopefully this push will be fully pushed for everyone. but they have probably found the actual issue and working on it. In terms of the topic suggestions, I know this came up in the webinar yesterday, so it is something that they are looking into and going to fix. So I don't have an update timely for the search topics. I know that's what you really wanted to figure out, but I will bug the team about this right after. I know I already wrote it down, but problem. Cool. So I wrote that down, so I make sure I'll know to annoy someone right after this. Oh yeah, of course. I'm really happy that these videos are helpful for you all. I think there's, we kind of experimented with this, a couple months ago, but we found, it did work for some others. So we're just going to continue to do them, and I'm just going to continue to change basically what I cover and the things I go over. But I'm happy you find these beneficial. Daniel, I didn't know there was plans for this. Let me see. Okay, so I see 100, but that could be because this is okay. So I didn't know that there was a limitation to the actual amount of videos you guys can create. I think that's just in terms of our current bandwidth that we have now. I'm sure this could change in the future, or we could, you could get a different plan for more access to them. So I guess I would reconsider the ones you guys would do. I would probably say at least 2 to 3 of your top landing pages, and then maybe the other 2 for basically your most competitive topic. That way, if you do share your videos with others, that it's going to be a competitive and a really useful video for not only yourself but others as well. Daniel, yeah, I can go through that now, but I would prefer to put together a presentation so I actually give you guys all the important information, and I don't want to miss anything. I have used Niche IQ a good bit, but I would like to just present it together. I want to actually be fully knowledgeable of what I'm going through here. So let's just plan on doing it because technically I'm already 5 minutes over my live stream, which is fine. I love doing these long, especially if you guys are hanging around asking questions. But I'll do that next week, so that way I actually can put something together. I can actually pull data from valuable resources where other publishers have used it and actually seen success. So that way I'm not just speaking out loud kind of crazily. I can actually bring up some valuable metrics. But I appreciate that. Beatrice and Daniel, I will have that for you next week. Especially because I primarily focused on Flickify and Humix. I can for sure go into that next week, definitely a lot more in depth. Oh, so Rude says, Daniel, Tag Tester is great, and it increased my click-through rate a lot. So yeah, exactly. So I mean, it is going to find the title that does work best. So if you're seeing a much higher click-through rate, then we're going to continue to test it. But if another title works better, then we're going to continue to test that one. But in theory, over time, with all the different tests we do, we will find the best option and continue to push that for better performance, better traffic, and better click-through rate, as you guys can see. But that does just about wrap up the live for today. I covered, let me go through and make sure I actually did go through everything that I wanted to. Thank you guys for sitting here with me. Oh, Rude says, I have to say this live stream has been very helpful as I had no idea how to get started with it. Well, awesome. Yeah, I'm happy this would serve some benefit. I think that's going to be basically my focus here at Ezoic moving forward is going to be, basically bringing our features and tools to you guys in a little bit more of a digestible fashion. So however that is and however you guys find it most beneficial is what I'll do. However you guys can digest this information the best is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create shorter videos going forward as well. They're kind of like pre-recorded. So they're kind of put together and you guys can kind of go back and rewatch them without going through an entire hour and a half live stream. But I'm really, really happy these are beneficial for you guys because I will do them all the time. I'll probably do them twice a week, if not more. Daniel says, thank you, Charlie. That was really informative. Probably the best stream so far, being able to learn how to use Ezoic properly. Daniel, that honestly is exactly what I want to hear. Just because all I'm trying to do is basically, serve as like an education point, I guess. That's kind of a lame word to use because, it's more of just us working together and figuring this out all together because, these features are brand new. So, I had to sit down last week and this week and just use them and kind of go through the motions to figure out what worked, what didn't work, give me time to pull data of what actually was working for others so I could actually back myself up with some claims. But Rude's gonna check my placeholders and publish that video soon. Perfect. I know you said you didn't get an email, but it looks like it rendered, so I'm sure that email will come through really soon. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else that I wanted to add and share with you guys. Yeah, I think I covered everything I wanted to today. Obviously, we didn't go into niche IQ as much, but that just means that we're going to have more time to go through that in the future. I'm sure by then I'll have some more data to share with you guys about, Flickify and Humix performances. I'll learn about the different plans. I'm going to report directly to you guys to figure out the topic suggestions so we get that dialed in. You guys said, is there any way to contact you via email? Yes, there is. I'll drop my email in the comment section for you guys right now. I can do some basic troubleshooting with you guys for some of these things that we've been talking about here, but 90%, 99% of the actual troubleshooting and discussions, we can actually, do that through the community. That's most beneficial, not for me, but for you guys as well, because as you guys saw, Daniel had a really good question, and then you guys were like, oh, that's actually a great question. I want to know as well. That's kind of why the community is so beneficial. So when you guys do ask these really good questions, you guys can all see, either how we work through the issue or basically how we present and resolve the issue as well. But I want to say thank you guys again so much for joining. You didn't have to do this, but you guys chose to show up. So thank yourselves. Now you guys can thank yourselves and use this information to better show your publishing skills. Use this as another avenue to create more revenue, to create more traffic. You guys are your biggest advocates. I'm your biggest advocates. I know you guys work your butts off behind the screens, probably 7 days a week. And I appreciate that. And I see you guys, which is why I love to show up. I'm giving my best effort because I really do want you guys to succeed more than anything ever. And I'll always do anything I can to do that. I'm excited to be kind of taking on this newer role at Ezoic, and it's basically just going to be allowing me to have more time to help you guys out with stuff like this. Yeah, cover code says full time with studying. Exactly, you guys are going back to school. No, I'm just kidding. But again, I cannot say it enough. I really appreciate you guys all showing up. I hope you guys have a great day as well. We're going through a little bit of a heat wave in San Diego, which I guess is exciting and cool. I will be doing another live on Thursday. We'll probably be covering some of the similar topics if some other people have not. If other people have not joined and see it, so I can maybe do it a little bit refined, a little bit quicker. But then I'll also go through niche IQ stuff on Thursday as well. I definitely want to pull up some more data, and I'll definitely bring you guys some more education. But the title tag tester is obviously not a new product. It's just going to be presented through niche IQ. Again, I can go on a rant. I got to stop myself there. But again, guys, thank you so much for showing up. Thanks for sticking with me. I know I run my mouth and I kind of vent and rant, but I'm just doing it to try to help you guys all out. But enjoy the rest of your guys' day or night or morning, wherever you guys are. I appreciate the comments. You guys are the best. I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Send me an email if you need something urgent. I'm going to bug the team about the niche IQ updates. I'll basically work through the rendering issue as well, the error validating your request. And all I'm going to do is bring more information, more data for you guys next time. So I'll see you guys on Thursday. And again, enjoy it. Thank you guys.